Hello friends and welcome into NFL Daily. I am your host Tom Downey. We're working our way through some 7-round NFL mock drafts, and first up is the New England Patriots. Now the Patriots do not have a second round pick this year. They've got needs on offense and some kind of notable key free agents on the defensive side of the ball. Now mocking for the Patriots is normally a little bit tricky. They kind of tend to do their own thing. They do have some of those key needs that we'll dive into in just a second. I do want to make a note, though, before we do that. There are no comp picks included. The Patriots will get some, but we're not including those because they're not yet on the Draft Network simulator, so I can't mock it for you just yet, but maybe we'll have to come back and do another one later on. Now, in terms of their top needs, the way I break it down, including pending free agents, that's why quarterback is number 1. Tight end's number 2, edge rusher, offensive guard, receiver. You're looking for starters or to retain starters at all of those positions. Beyond that, maybe under safety, some more defensive line help, and even linebackers stand out as well. So let's dive in then to this Patriots mock draft. In round 1, pick number 23, I went with Tee Higgins. Now, I know there's some buzz. Maybe he's not worth a first-round pick because he's not a good enough separator. You're not sure just how fast he's going to run at the Combine later this month. I think he's a good fit in New England. Yes, he's not the typical slot receiver, the separator that the Patriots seem to like, but they could use a player like Tee Higgins. He wins in contested catch situations. He's a big body, great size. If he can run in a sub 4.5, which is possible for him, you're taking that guy in round 1. Come on, people. And at that point, I kind of see a little bit of an Alshon Jeffrey in his game. And receiver certainly is a need for the Patriots. You're hoping N'Keal Harry has a breakout year in year number 2. Mohamed Sanu, let's just be honest here, was a disappointing pickup for the New England Patriots. You have Julian Edelman, a.k.a. Mitchell Renz, in the slot. I like Jacoby Myers there. With Philip Dorsett a free agent, the rest of those guys don't intrigue you. So if I'm the Patriots, I am looking for a wide receiver, and Higgins, quite simply, was the best one left on the board. There really weren't a whole bunch of other wide receiver options. Maybe you could have gone Justin Jefferson, but I don't love his fit compared to Tee Higgins. You could have gone quarterback. I'm not going Jacob Eason there. Some defensive players, Terrell Lewis, Neville Gallimore, Grant Delpit, Patrick Green. So with Laviska Shenault not on the board in this simulation, I thought Tee Higgins was a really good fit for the New England Patriots. But it's the NFL draft. It's a mock draft. It is impossible to please everyone. So let me know in the comments section who you want the Patriots to draft in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft. No wrong answers, and if you're watching on YouTube, you might get it with an ad break. So I have made this the pinned comment of the video. Scroll on down there, and you can cast your votes for who you want the Patriots to draft in round 1. Remember, no second-round pick, so we jump to round 3. How could I not put the son of Randy Moss on the New England Patriots? Tight end is a huge need for New England. I wish they had a round 2 pick so they could get maybe someone a little bit better. But I like the fit for Thaddeus Moss in New England. Now, his last name's Moss. However, he is not the same caliber of athlete his dad was. He's not even a receiver playing tight end. No, Thaddeus Moss, who really broke out in the last couple of games for LSU, especially against Clemson and Oklahoma. He's got soft hands, great hands, 0 drops here. That's certainly impressive. He's not the same vertical deep threat that his dad was, but he's a solid and willing blocker, best in an intermediate option area, in the intermediate parts of the field. And quite simply for the New England Patriots, tight end's a huge need for them. Benjamin Watson's an old free agent. Ryan Izzo, Matt LaCossa, also gross. Those two aren't enough with Watson being a free agent. So that's why I went with Thaddeus Moss over, say, Hunter Bryant, who was also on the board in round 3. That was my main point of discussion. I thought about some of those defensive linemen up there, Jason Strowbridge, Bradley Anae. We'll talk about guard Damian Lewis. Had I not taken Tee Higgins in round 1, I would have gone with KJ Hill in round 3 because he just screams great fit for the New England Patriots. But for me, it was a discussion between Hunter Bryant and Thaddeus Moss. So let me know if you guys like or dislike the pick. Who would you have gone with? Type B for Hunter Bryant, M for Thaddeus Moss. I like Bryant's upside in the passing game more than Thaddeus Moss, But if I'm the Patriots, I also need someone who can block a little bit for me. And as of right now, that's just simply not Hunter Bryant. I trust Moss a lot more in that area. Also got some deal gear for you guys. Some gear deal. Wow, that was pretty rough right there. Up to 50% off all types of NFL gear, of course, including Patriots gear. It's chatsports.com/NFL sale. That is chatsports.com/NFL sale. Up to 50% off all types of items. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, jerseys. Check the comments, check the description. I've got that link in there for you, but one more time, it's chatsports.com/NFL sale. On now to round 4. That's Ben Bredeson, the offensive lineman, the guard, really, out of Michigan. NFL teams will like seeing a 4-year starter at a Big Ten school. He was the left guard for the Wolverines back in 2019. Overall, he's a little bit more of a finesse player than he is a power player. Now, he didn't allow a sack in 2019. That's a big deal for me. Just 1 quarterback hit, 8 hurries, all per Pro Football Focus. Rough first 2 years at Michigan, got better as things went along. I think that early round 4, this might be a little bit late for him where he actually ends up going. I think that's valuable. Now, the Patriots did draft Yelder Froedel last year, but Joe Thuney's a free agent at left guard. You got to bring somebody in. Now, I'll say they're okay right now for center. We'll see if David Andrews can come back from his issues. Ted Karras is a free agent. You got Shaq Mason, you paid him. You might not be able to pay Joe. If you can get a player who I think can start right away at left guard for you, maybe not be an elite starter, but be a passable starter as a rookie like Ben Bredeson, that's some good value in round 4. Also thought about Shane Lemieux, the offensive guard out of Oregon. Trevon Hill was there. I'll mention a receiver, Brian Edwards, but don't love that value. You took a receiver, frankly. Terrell Burgess I actually like out of Utah. I think he fit well with New England, but I got bigger needs to address right now than I do in terms of adding another defensive back, a safety nickel hybrid. Devon Hamilton out of Ohio State, also a possible option there. But I thought guard was a bigger need, and I thought, frankly, Ben Bredeson was one of the better values left on the board in round 4 of this mock draft simulation. Now, if you want a mock draft for a 7-round mock draft for your favorite NFL team, I want you guys to shout them out in the comments section. We're going to do some more of these, and if they do well, we'll keep doing more of them. And we got some coming up as well for teams like the Vikings, the Dolphins, the Browns, Seahawks, Eagles. So if you're a fan of one of those teams, hey, still put your favorite team in the comment section. Might help the order in which they go out. And if your team's not on there, let us know in the comments section. Enough votes, and we might do you guys next. Round 6, reminder, no comp picks, but the Patriots, I'm sure, will have some. James Lynch out of Baylor. Now, he had great production for the Bears. If I have to guess, after the Combine, as we move along a little bit, Lynch is not going to be available in round 6 of these simulations. I think there's a better chance he actually goes on day 2, but he was here for the simulation, so for our mock draft purposes, we're going to include him. I'm not going to ignore good players for you guys, so Patriots fans, you're welcome. 19.5 tackles for loss, 13.5 sacks. I think he can play either 3 technique, that's the pass rushing defensive tackle in the NFL, or 5 technique, which is more of that base defensive end, in a 3-4 front. He's not a pure edge. I don't think he's quite a pure interior defensive lineman, but he does fit those molds pretty well. So for the Patriots, if you can get a guy like Lynch in this range, I think that's really good value. Now, he doesn't replace Kyle Van Noy. He simply does not. And hopefully you're able to bring back Van Noy, who's just a pure edge, not really a true base or hand-on-the-ground defensive end, but he's a pass rusher. That's why I put him at defensive end. Lynch could end up being your down-the-road replacement for maybe a Lawrence Guy, filling in that type of role. Adam Butler is a restricted free agent. I don't know if he'll be on the team in 2020 or even 2021 more likely, but I need more options on the interior. Lynch is great value, so I went with this pick for the Patriots. All right, some others on the board in round 6. James Prochet, really thought about him as a slot receiver. Carter Coughlin, kind of a tweener. I like Geno Stone, but again, safety, that's not where I really need to invest right now. James Morgan is the best quarterback left, and gross. Calvin Throckmorton can be a nice versatile piece, but you've invested a lot of middle-round picks on the offensive line, so for now, I'll focus on different spots for the Patriots. So what do you guys think is the Patriots' biggest need? Now, I did not really get an impact edge. It's the nature of only having 3 picks in the first 4 rounds, at least for now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. What is the Patriots' biggest need? Another round 6 pick here. This one just a few picks later. I'm going to double dip at receiver. I know that's not how most teams handle it in terms of mock drafts, but that's how NFL teams do it. And James Prochet is fantastic value for the Patriots in round 6. His production at SMU was awesome. I like him a lot, and he could make an impact for you in year 1. He played outside and inside for SMU. I think in the NFL, he's a slot receiver, but he has enough speed and vertical ability that he's not just going to be a intermediate slot receiver. You bring in James Prochet, and the slot fade is very much on the menu here for the New England Patriots. I love the value getting Prochet in round 6. Some others on the board here, a very similar list. I'll also mention Antonio Gandy-Golden. I already have Tee Higgins, though. So I don't want to invest in another outside option. I'll take someone who can be a speedy slot guy in James Prochet and help me out on special teams as well. Today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. I know the NFL, the season's over. The XFL, though, it's underway. It's almost March Madness. Heck, you can bet on the NFL Combine, too. It's chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120. It gets you a 120% deposit bonus. All right, we are in round 7 now. I'm not finding day 1 impact guys. I'm sorry, it's round 7. So don't get mad at me for not finding you a starter at some position. I will, though, gamble on another tight end for the Patriots. He's a little bit more of that passing game weapon move tight end than he is a blocker. So I think that meshes pretty well with what they have in Thaddeus Moss in this mock draft. Now, his usage did go down, not in terms of touchdowns, but in terms of yards. I'm going to blame iffy quarterback play for that one. But Mitchell Wilcox out of South Florida, I think can come in maybe in year 1. He's your number 3 tight end and can develop into more of a passing game option as a number 2. I think that carries, there is of course risk involved here because they're here in round 7, but it's a worthwhile pick for the Patriots. Other players on the board, Sean McKeon, the other tight end of Michigan, John Runyon, Geno Stone still there. I almost went that route. Cole McDonald, who, that'd be fun, but he's pretty wild, and I don't really know where he ends up going. Garrett Marino as well was on the board, and just a couple picks later, that's the route I ended up going. Garrett Marino, the defensive lineman out of UAB. He is kind of a tweener. Is he a defensive end? Is he a defensive tackle? He was one of the top combine snubs. Thought he had a good showing, though, overall at the East-West Shrine game. The production for UAB was actually pretty good. The sack numbers weren't great, but he did consistently generate pressure. Also, by the way, had 7 pass breakups at the defensive line, which I find fascinating. That's a very high number. Maybe that can turn into special teams. I'm looking for more depth on the D-line. I like the value for Garrett Marino in round 7. Other players on the board, maybe you can go with Cole McDonald if you want to take a flyer on a quarterback. Other receivers there, Benjamin Victor, Jeff Thomas. But even though receivers a big-time need, I didn't really feel the need to go with 3 of them in this mock draft. For my final pick in round 7, I'm going to go back to the offensive line. John Runyon, who was a tackle at Michigan, a multi-year starter on the left side of the line. His dad, of course, is John Runyon, the former Pro Bowl offensive lineman. He could move inside to guard. He might end up switching sides. I like the value for Runyon. The board by the time we got to this pick in round 7 looked very different, as funny as that does sound. McDonald went off the board. I was thinking about taking him here at 218. Charlie Heck could be another offensive tackle to develop there. Shaheem Carter. I will make note, I did look for Boston College players. The board did not fall in such a way, or there was one that made sense, but that is how Belichick often likes to go about drafting. Tanner Muse could be an option as a potential special teamer, but I kind of like the value for Runyon, and with Isaiah Wynn still not getting on the field as much as you want, we'll see how Yadnik and Justin others develop. I thought it was a worthwhile gamble late in round 7. So grade this mock draft for me, Patriots fans. A, B, C, D, or F. I would have loved to have gotten Laviska Shenault. I'm sorry he went off the board. Frankly, that does kind of knock it down in my own eyes. It's not the perfect Patriots mock draft, so I'm going to give it a B. But if you missed the picks or forgot them, I got you guys covered. Tee Higgins in round 1, Thaddeus Moss in round 3, Ben Bredeson in round 4. I love the value of James Lynch in round 6, and James Prochet in round 6 as well. So 2 straight James there. Round 7, look, we're taking flyers there, trying to make sure we got some depth potentially. Mitchell Wilcox, Garrett Marino, and John Runyon.